I guess. So let me check. Yeah, I guess we are live. Hello everyone. So please confirm me whether am I audible or not in the chat section so that we can get started as soon as possible. I guess everything is fine. So without wasting any time, let's get started. And first, let me do some formalities here. So we are currently at the lecture number 19. Okay, so far we have covered completed 18 lessons. Okay, which covers a starting like basics of the from basics of Python to today we are at something was happened. Sorry for that. Was trying to get back. Microsoft Windows application is not responding. Give me a second. I guess there is some issue with the notebook. I guess I think it is fine now. We are back. So yes, so we are talking about where we are currently in Python series. Yeah. So far we have completed 18 lessons. Okay. So which were covering right from the basics of Python to today we are at OOPS concepts. We are discussing about OOPS. So object oriented programming, and that too we are discussing about polymorphism. So yesterday also we have talked about polymorphism only, but that was like in general. Okay, we have discussed in like the behavior of polymorphism in general in all the object oriented programming, but today we'll talk about specific to the Python, right? Specific to the Python. So what is the difference? Okay, so as I said yesterday, so Python is not a pure object oriented programming language. Can you confirm is everything is fine from my side? Can you confirm that? Someone from the chat. So okay, we have talked about a general in general how OOPS works in all other like all object oriented programming languages. Today we'll talk about a specific to the Python. Okay, how this thing works, like polymorphism works in Python. Okay, and what is the difference between other programming languages as well. Now we have seen there were two types of polymorphism. One is overloading and one is overriding. Overloading and overriding. So also a overloading is also called as compile time polymorphism, and overriding is called as runtime polymorphism as well. But like yes, Kaif, right after completing the oops, yeah, right after completing the oops topic, we will be jumping onto the DSA. Okay, so after completing oops, we will be teaching DSA over here in this particular channel. Yep. So additional to this, we have another thing called a duct typing philosophy. Duct typing philosophy in Python. Okay, which is also called as an polymorphism only. Okay, which is also called as a polymorphism. So you might, if you have other prior coding experience, you might have seen this too, but duct typing is something different which is only there in Python, I guess so. Okay, so we'll talk about what is duct typing. So the name suggests, so the thing was very simple. Okay, I can say that if you can behave like an duck, and if you can talk like a duck, then you are, so the Python assumes that you are a duck, right? That's what, like, let's say there is a mission. Okay, and so nowadays so you can mock. Okay, you can mock like a dog by chanting like a, so by barking, right? So bark, so you can say some sounds like just like dog, then a mission will treat you as a dog only. And if you shout like a duck, then mission will assumes that you are a duck. Okay, if you're talking, then it will assumes that as a uh, person, right? So that is the principle here. So here uh Kaif, so please let me know, like, I will be teaching in, like, everyone understands, like, so I will be teaching in very simpler manner with some good examples. So still if you are not able to understand, please let me know what are all the doubts you have. Okay, so if you have any doubts, put them in the chat window. Okay, then I can clear them. Okay, so it's not like an one-way session. Okay, so you can ask questions, I can see them, and I can revert you back as well. Okay, everyone will have doubts. Okay, everyone will have doubts. Now, so let's assume you have a class called duck, you have a class called dog, you have a class called a person. Okay, now you will be creating a list. Let's assume you will be creating a list where you will be defining all of these particular classes in it. Okay, like duck, we are just storing these class as one element, then dog, then person. Okay, so you will be combining all these classes together, and you will be assigning it to the single variable, and you will be just putting all of them together in a one list. Now let's assume you will be making, okay, let me walk through the code. Okay, so that you will get some better idea. Let me write it. So let's say you have a class called person, and you have a method called talk. You have a method called talk, and let's say I am person. Now similarly you have a class called a dog, class called dog, and you will be say again a dog. How does a dog talk? Like it's like bow bow kind of sound, right? So print I am dog. Okay. Now let's say we have another class which is called as a duck. Define a talk and print I am duck. Okay, so these are all the classes and the methods. So what is the one thing that you have identified here? So class names are different, but in class the same method is being available in the every class. Like talk method is there in the all three classes. Now what I am doing was, let's say I am creating a list. Okay, list where I will be creating mentioning all these classes. Okay, done. Now I will be creating a function. Okay, I will okay, need not to create a function. Okay, let me take all these things. Okay, object in ls. So now I will be taking one particular object from a list, right? So this is how we traverse in a list. Now what I will do now, so object dot okay, object dot talk. Now can you guess what will be the output for this particular piece of code? What will be the output for this piece of code? Can you guess? Let me know in the chat. Okay, so here one thing that you need to identify, we haven't mentioned the object type explicitly. Okay, and for every object we are randomly calling the talk method only. So how it is being making a call? Okay, let me run this first so that you can see the output, then we'll talk about that further. Now I got the output as I am person, I am dog, I am duck. Now did we mention the type, okay, the class name explicitly? No. Why? Because we know the fact that Python is a dynamically typed language. Okay, so according to the class type it is currently present in, it will go to the that particular respective class. That's it. Okay, like if the class is person, okay, first it will take person, so object dot talk. So object is being created for person class, then it is for dog, then it is for duck. Okay, so it is going in a sequential order. That's it. So every time I call object dot talk, I will be getting this. So this is how it works, and this is called as a duct typing philosophy, which is only there in Python, I guess. Okay, not sure about Java. I never tried because I have very less experience in Java. Like I studied it in as part of my college, forgot it. That's it. So yeah, that is about duct typing philosophy. And now we'll talk about overloading and overriding in specific to the Python. Okay, so let me erase these things first. Now we know that first we'll talk about method overloading. Okay, method overloading. So how does overloading works? So in a single class we would be having the different methods with the same name, okay, which differs in the parameter size. Okay, if you consider here in talk I am not passing any parameters. Okay, so I have no parameters here. Okay, now again I have a method called a talk again. So here now I will be having one particular a parameter, okay, which is named as a. Now print I am, okay, I can accept one parameter here. Okay, I can accept one parameter here. Now let me create another a method with the same name called talk self comma a comma b. Now print I can accept two parameters. Okay, I can accept two parameters here. Now let's see. Okay, I will create an object for person, then I will make a call to the object dot talk. Okay, so first I will pass 1 comma 2. Okay, I will pass 1 comma 2. It is suggesting the error here, so you can see some error. So that is the advantage of IDEs, but forget about this. Okay, let's run this piece of code, because so here I am passing two arguments, so my expectation would be it will go to the 8th line. Okay, it will go to the 8th line. Let's see. Yes, it went to the 8th line, right? I can accept two parameters here. Now if I give single parameter, if I give single argument, then my expectation would be it should go to the 5th line, where I will be accepting only one parameter. Now let's execute this. But this time I got some error. What is the error? Talk function, like talk method, missing one required positional argument b. But my expectation is it should go to the 5, right, where it is accepting only one parameter. Why it is not entering over there? So this is the problem with the Python. Okay, so this is the difference among the other object oriented languages and the Python. So this is why we called, so this is not only the reason, there are few other reasons. Because of them we are not calling the Python as a pure object oriented programming language. Okay, so what is happening here now? Let me put it. Okay, let me open my pen. So what is happening here? So basically we know that stack, right, like where we will be storing all our methods which we define over there. Just assume that there is a place. Okay, there is a place where we will be storing all our methods information over there. Okay, so what is happening over there means, yeah, okay, so just assume this is a space where we will be storing all our methods information. Okay, now first I have created this particular method, so talk, and which is not taking any parameters. Okay, so done. Now after seeing this talk again, so what it will do now, it will override that. Okay, it will eliminate the previous one and it will create only the new one which is accepting one parameter. Okay, done. Now again I have seen a talk method, but this time it is taking two parameters. So what it will do, it will eliminate the earlier version and it will create the new one, talk of a comma b. Okay, now if I am making a call object.talk, where it should refer to, it should refer to the one which is there in our space. What is there in our space? A method which is accepting two parameters, right? The method which is accepting two parameters. But what we are doing, we are passing only one argument here, so it will throw an error, right? So your method is accepting two parameters, but you are passing only one, so it will throw an error. That is what happened. Okay, so one positional argument is missing here. So how to handle such cases? Okay, how to handle such cases? So for that reason, we have seen a default arguments, right? Default arguments while discussing about functions topic. So what is default arguments? So if you are not passing, okay, if you are not passing, let's see. So I will make this b is equal to a none. Okay, I will make this b is equal to none. Okay, let's execute this. Okay, let me put some value over here. Okay, now what happens? If I execute this, it will make a call to the I'm accepting two parameters. So what happened? We have made a b as a default argument. Okay, b as a default argument. So what is happening here? So even though if you are not passing a b argument from your code, it is no problem. Okay, so it will take one as to the, it will map one to the a, and it will assign b to the default value if you are not passing it. If you are passing the value, let's say if you are passing 1 comma 5, now what happens? It won't take the default value, it will assign the value which you are passing. That's it. Okay, I hope you have understood what happened here, and if you haven't, please let me know in the chat session so that I will try to repeat it again. So this is how it works in, like, method overloading works in Python, and the same way constructor overloading also works. Okay, if I, let's say, will replace it with INIT self. Okay, if I replace it with INIT self, so the same happens, right? So let's see, I should not call this, and I should call pass the params here itself. Okay, if I make, let me erase this none. Now I am passing two arguments to my constructor. Now if I execute this, I can accept two parameters over here, means it entered into this particular constructor. Now if I pass only one argument, now let's, I got constructor missing one required positional argument, which is b. Okay, so this is the same problem that we have seen, like discussed earlier, right, while we are talking about method overloading. So how can we handle this such cases? So you can make a default parameter as one thing, then you can say I can accept two parameters. Okay, it's your wish. Okay, like if you wanted to handle in such case, you can handle that. If not, you can make you, like, you can name it different, then you can pass, then you can assign over there. It's not a big deal, but in general this is how polymorphism has been uh, introduced or been coded, okay, in companies as well. So I can see that in my current organization as well, we will be writing something like this only. Okay, we will keep few like unnecessary or which we are not passing them as a default ones, and if we are passing them, it will be considered. If we are not passing them, default values will be considered, so which we are keeping them as a null. Okay, so that is how we handle in the companies as well. So that's a good practice to be followed. So I guess we are done with overloading. Now what is overriding? So we have discussed, so yesterday we have discussed we will be having uh, two classes. Okay, let's see, I have another class called employee. So employee, which is been derived from the person class, and it is having it is self, where I will be accepting name, ID, and which is an employee ID. Okay, and email, company. Now I will say self dot. I can add, I can I can say that. So in my super class, okay, for every person, I will be having name, right? So I will handle that case here. Okay, self dot name equal to the name. Okay, self dot name equal to the name, and here I will say a super dot, okay, super dot init name. Okay, we'll pass that whatever the name we have got to the person class, and will rest of the things will handle here. Okay, which is employee ID equal to the employee ID, and a self dot company equal to the company. So I will handle that here. Now here we have done overriding concept here. Where did we? So this super itself is an method, sorry, constructor overriding, right? So we have the same name like init and init. So constructor name as same here, but we are keeping like from the child class, from the same name function or constructor, we are making a call to another constructor, which in terms called as an overriding concept here. Okay, and if you still not believing that, I will show you with an some examples. Okay, no worries. So as of now we are good. Okay, let me create an employee. Okay, let me create an employee. Now let's see, here I am passing only, here I am passing only one particular argument. Okay, only one argument. If I pass this, I will get an error, right? I will get an error by saying that missing two required positional arguments, employee ID and the company. So you guys know how to handle this, but this is not what I wanted to show you. So here employee name would be, let's say, and ID, let's say 200, and company, let's say Google. Okay, I'm not working in Google, but yeah, just mentioning that, that's it. So it won't throw an any error. Okay, if you can, if you are still wanted to refer that whether this has been done or not, you can print the object name. Okay, so I got the Vamsi. It means that it has been assigned, values are been assigned to the classes. Now here this super itself works as a overriding, and even if I say I have a method called def print me, okay, where I will be taking a comma b, then I will print a comma b. Okay, now sorry, this is my pointer. Now I will say object dot print me 10 comma 20. Okay, so I will get a 10 comma 20 now, that is for sure. Okay, I will get a 10 comma 20. Yes, I got it. Now in the person class I have the same print me, then here, but here I will be having only, I will be accepting only one parameter, which is only a. Okay, So here I will say I am accepting, or let's say I am in person class, and I will be accepting only one thing, okay, which is A. Okay, now so here let's see, it will throw an error, I guess. It will throw an error. It will throw an error. Why so? This is the problem with the Python. Okay, this is the problem with the Python. So how to handle such cases? So you can simply make like a super mm, okay. So we have given both the same names. But it will be get accepted in the other programming languages, but here it is not accepting because of the this is a Python. Okay, and how to handle this, you need to put the super class, so that is the only way that you can make your overriding works, okay, in Python. Now this is the problem here, and the solution was use super classes and handle the cases of where rest of the things in the upper, okay, which means base classes, handle the few cases in the derived classes. That's what we have seen so far, and this is about the Python polymorphism, I guess. So let me think, still is there anything that we need to discuss? We have covered constructor overloading and constructor overriding, method overriding. Yes, I guess we have covered pretty much. Yes, so that's it from my side. So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the chat, and else we can end the session here, so we can catch up tomorrow at the same timing. So sorry today, like I have some health issues. So yeah, we'll back with a bang in the next class. So in next class we will be either discussing about encapsulation or a data abstraction,